My brothers and sisters, what is going on? This is Steel Sermon in the house. Thursday morning with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram, link in the box below. So in this video, a lot of talk about our offensive line has been spurring up over the course of this offseason, and deservedly so. A lot of debates on who's going to start on the left side between Broderick Jones and Dan Moore. And actually, it's not that obvious of a decision as you might think, because, Dan Moore, he could be used in situations like the goal line for the O-line, or stops on, or, converting third downs, or whatever you name it. And obviously, Broderick Jones is the favorite to start on the left side because we took him and traded down in New England to draft him at 14 overall. Actually, there is a lot of debate on who's going to be the Week 1 starter at the left tackle. And I've also heard that Dan Moore kind of used that as a wake-up call to him, seeing that, oh man, the Steelers took Broderick Jones out of Georgia, which means I may not have a whole lot of time left. And whether or not Chooks is going to stay or not, fingers crossed that he doesn't, because I can't stand the guy personally. I give Dan Moore a lot of credit because he took it upon himself to start learning how to play right tackle. And that's really important, A, for him, and B, obviously for the offensive line, because we all know that this O-line is it's a huge year for this O-line, considering what we've done in the offseason and now the draft. But I think there's one guy that a lot of people are sleeping on with this offensive line, and I'm calling him the sixth man on the offensive line, and that is Darnell Washington, who we took at 93rd overall, trading with the Carolina Panthers that sent them to the 80th pick. So, Darnell Washington, obviously, he's a tight end, also out of Georgia, so he's reunited with Broderick Jones, and 28 receptions for 454 yards, a couple of touchdowns in 2022, and for his career, he played 36 games, 45 catches, 774 yards, and 3 touchdowns in his entire career down in Georgia. But while I'm not personally a big fan of a 3 tight end set, because now he's joining Pat Freiermuth and Zach Gentry with that tight end core, the thing that really one-ups me with Darnell Washington is this. The boy's 6'7", and that automatically gives him a huge, that gives the Steelers a huge target at tight end, first of all. And for someone that uses that size in the receiving game is going to be a huge blocker. So that's why I'm calling him the sixth man on this O-line. And when he puts it all together, it can be a big mismatch. He can be anywhere on the field, whether he's running routes or whether he's blocking. And when he does put it all together, he's going to be a complete tight end. He's not complete yet. That takes time, obviously, just like how I'm not saying Broderick Jones is going to be an automatic superstar. It's going to take time for him to develop, just like how it's going to take Kenny Pickett to develop to become a superstar. We saw glimpses of it towards the end of last year, but it's going to take time. And this guy, when you look at his highlights down in Georgia, he enjoys blocking in every aspect of the game. The blocking, the running, the routes, and he has done all of that efficiently. And this may cause a little bit more of a dilemma since I'm on the topic here. He used to play left tackle and block for a whole season, but he's not naturally a left tackle. So I guess if you really want to look forward into it, it's a 3-man battle at the left tackle spot between him, Moore, and Broderick Jones. But we all know that it's going to come down to those two with the left side. But the reason that I'm saying that Darnell Washington is going to be the sixth man on the O-line is because this guy knows how to block, and he knows how to use his size to his advantage. And he's even gone on to say that he's played receiver and running back as well. He pretty much has done it all on the offensive side of the ball. And I think that's what a lot of people are going to look forward to for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year with Darnell Washington. You know, and I'm very excited to see here because now there is absolutely no excuse to have your O-line be as bad as it's been for the past couple of seasons. It's gotten better. He even brought in Isaac Seumalo in the offseason as well, one of the best O-linemen in the entire game. And now you draft Broderick Jones, and now you get Darnell Washington, who's a really versatile tight end and who can block as well. You basically got three good offensive linemen in this draft, and you complement that with one of them being another weapon for Kenny Pickett. So my question is, who do you think is going to be the #1 tight end moving forward in the future? Do you think it's still going to be Muth? That's the popular choice, but I wouldn't count out Darnell Washington as well. And maybe this means the end of Zach Gentry, but I think that there's no denying now that Darnell Washington has a role on this offensive line as a huge, hulking, blocking tight end and a guy who can just get the job done as far as the offensive side of the ball goes. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. This is Steel Sermon. Check it on out for the day. May God be with you all.